Hey, it's the Scotch Test Dummies. We got us the Glen Goin trifecta.
3, baby. That means 3.
Which ones?
On a fecta. The Glengoyne 12, 15, and 18.
Very good. Let's test it.
Almost forgot the 15. Test it. All right, Scott, we're back. First of all, homage to Bob Ross. I'm wearing my own little do that matches the Bob Ross do.
Great story.
I love Bob Ross. He's
Now,
so peaceful.
I will tell you, when I asked you in the intro which ones we had, I had an inkling that you was going to mess it up.
Wow. But I did.
You almost did.
You're going to play the one where we did a couple takes. I almost messed it up. 15 always seems odd to me.
That's standard.
I know. Just 12, 18, and 21, I think, is what I'm always looking at. So, and we're doing something different. These aren't blind, not blind at all. It's the 12, the 15, and the 18. I must say it's coin 254, coin 255, and coin 256 here.
257, 258, 259.
Woo!
And we've got our 12-year, our 15, and our 18-year left to right. We're just going to sit here. We're going to look down. We're going to start with the 12. We're just going to give you what notes we're getting there. Move to the 15 and then the 18.
You know why I wore the Bob Ross? Because these are like happy trees for me.
Yes, they are.
They're calm. They're peaceful. They're flavorful. Wow. This is your wheelhouse.
Scotch God shout out.
Scotch God shout out. Although I may ramble a little bit, and this may be the first time we end up going with, go to the website for an unchill filtered cast strength Scotch Test Dummies. I could tell you about how I synced up with my Puerto Rican wife. Makes me more worldly. And by synced up, I don't mean dirty. I just mean like hitting it off.
Frank Lampard comments, you guys need to pick up a bottle of the Cavalon Concert Master Port Cask. It's wonderful. The port comes through nicely with red fruits on the palate without being too sweet. Yes, now that has showed up in our area, and I think that's where Frank got it from because he lives near us. But out at Plaza Wine and Spirits and Groves both have had the
so it's a port cask in Cavalon, which is Taiwanese.
Yes.
And is it crazily expensive?
100. And that's probably the only thing that's kept me from picking it up.
Right.
But the Cavalons we've had have been good.
Delicious. Delicious Cavalons. Taiwan knows what they're doing, and everything ages faster in Taiwan.
By the way, we had, I'll diverge for a second.
What?
The Sunday night show where me and you did the Whistle Pig Boss Hog.
I love that show.
We talked about a traveling bottle. If you go away to a hotel, say for a week or a few days, and you take a bottle with you, what do you take? Jamie Beaver came on and commented. He'd just been on a trip, and he took the Cavalon Solist, not the Vino Barrique, but the sherry cask one.
Sure.
Which is like a $200 bottle.
He's an expensive traveler.
Yes.
Because you traveled with the Chivas.
I take something decent, but something reasonable.
I don't know, though. You take the Chivas because you may have to bail like a spy at any moment. So at any second, you just drop it and go.
Yeah, you don't want to have to leave behind the good stuff.
What was the movie with Al Pacino and...
De Niro?
Yes.
Heat?
Yes, Heat. Remember that when they're in there and they're counter to each other, but they're talking about dropping things and going?
Mm-hmm.
But didn't Al Pacino...
They met at the restaurant, the roadside diner.
That's right. That's right. But De Niro had a girlfriend there. No. Yeah. De Niro, didn't he have a girlfriend finally and he didn't bail?
Yes.
He was going to have to walk away from her and it was hard.
Yeah.
God, that was a good show. Those two guys sitting in a booth together. Bless you.
All right. Glen Goin 12-year. Now let's start. We got a sample of the Glen Goin 25.
Woo.
Okay.
Whiskey the 6.
That was sent to us. We reviewed it with Whiskey in the 6. That came from Reverend Toma.
Oh, that's right.
Angel
sent us the beautiful gift, and then we reviewed it with Whiskey in the 6.
So after we had the 25, which was very delicious, now Glen Goin is not sold in our area. I was in Dallas, Texas, where my wife has family, and I picked up the Glen Goin 18.
I like families. She has families.
Families.
You picked up the 18.
Plural. I come home, I sit down with it.
You sat down with it.
I said, holy I got to get more of this.
Holy snarkies. I should have worn the proper shirt.
So my wife was down there later,
So
And
she
I
was
told
there
her-
once with the family. She returns again.
I was there. I picked up the 18. She's there.
Again.
I told her, get me the 12 and the 15.
This
You
is
gotta do
Lubbock. You're in Lubbock, Texas.
No,
Waco, Texas.
by Dallas.
Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes.
Boom. If I say enough places, Houston, you would have been eventually. Yeah, that's right. Just throwing it out. It's unchill filtered. You looked at me like I was completely slow right there. For you, like,
Just because it's unchill filtered doesn't mean that you have to just go.
oh, I go with whether it's unchill
Whatever.
filtered or not. That was just
Yeah,
fun.
that's not like it's the Geneva Convention. I can say whatever I want.
I don't,
It's unchill filtered.
I don't think
It's
that's-
unchill filtered.
I don't think that's part of the Geneva Convention.
Anyway,
Now that's
the Glen
beautiful
Goin
right there.
line.
That's a good show.
the Glen Goin line is wonderful. I'm
When
going to
el-
tell you.
when
One
else-
little sample bottle has led me go, what?
Nothing. You're good. I was going to say, when else do you quote the Geneva Convention, but on an STD
That's from a movie.
show? Oh, which movie?
So you movie reference.
Well, I know the actual Geneva Convention. I actually know what that is. I'm into that. Go ahead. One little
Glen
sample.
Goin might actually watch this.
I hope so. We're hoping to have them on a live show.
Anyway, the Glen Goin 12, 15, 18, 25, all this led from a little sample bottle. All these bottled at 43%. Glen Goin stresses no peat has been used, only time and air is used to make this whiskey.
Fascinating.
Natural color,
Thought maybe you'd tell me a little bit more about
bottled
the
at
distillery.
43%. So, the 12 year, and we'll talk about the packaging a little bit, or the marketing. The 15, nowhere on the packaging does it say there's any sherry influence that I could find. The 12 year talks about oak and then sherry caskings, and so does the 18.
It's like the history of the distillery right there. And marketing, some packaging,
Maltiness,
sherryness.
sherriedness.
But you're right, the malt's strong in this one.
And almost a lemon citrus as well.
Yeah, I get a like a lemon drop
Okay.
because of that sweetness where it has a little bit of lemon drop flavor. Wow, I'm getting a little bit of the salivation going for this one.
Good. We did cleanse our palates with some oat cakes,
Oh, yeah, I'm loving the oat cakes.
which were sent to us from
I like
Scotland.
the triangular ones.
They're both good. They're
I
both
know,
good.
they're
I can
both
see
good. My
though they're
favorite's
very.
the triangular. Are they from Orkney?
That wasn't Orkney. What was it? You got the packaging. They were sent to us from
Orkney Thin.
Orkney
baby.
Thin, there you go.
Oat cakes from their Stockins.
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 very good palate cleansers though.
Yeah.
You need those in the States.
Yeah, we do. I'm sure you can get them somewhere. So the nose
Light.
is subtle.
Light light sherry.
Yeah, I get the sherry. I get that malted grain. And like you said, a little bit of lemongrass or sweet lemon drop.
Very vanilla.
Very vanilla.
There goes the horse. I could hear the horse going.
Yeah, that was the horse. It's very milli vanilli. That's good.
Oak,
You're right.
light sherry.
I get a sweet butterscotch finish. Lingering, sticking. It's very buttery sweet. It's like a stick of butter. Wow, that's on the finish.
Creamy. You know what? I do have my notes. Maybe we should pull those up.
I do have mine too. So my nose from way back when was very light. I did sniff too hard on a state and it burned my nose because it was so light I went in deep. I get a little bit of hint of the grain on the nose. Interesting. The taste I listed way back when was very rich and buttery with a hint of grapefruit. Looky, looky.
A little bit of that lighter citrus. On my notes, I had the sherry, coconut, and oranges on the nose
Very nice.
with what we got as well. The taste in my notes, I have it. it almost feels like a 46% or maybe even a little higher. It hides 43% very well.
It does. It's very nice.
Sometimes 43 seems a little light.
Well, I prefer them at least 43 to 46.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Now, I've got a score on it, but I guess we can come back later with what that is. I think I scored all of them. Sorry, I've got a little bit of allergy going. All right. Delicious. I want to save some of this for later. Can we move to the 15?
Let me add just a drop of water to this so it's in there
I'm going to
later
do a
when
little
we come
cleansing.
back.
Unground coffee beans. Unground. The technique when we were doing the rye shootout we learned was to snip some whole coffee beans back of the hand and cleanse the palate with what I prefer are these Orkney thin triangled oat cakes.
I was just looking at my notes. I've got cinnamon, oak, vanilla, honey, a light sherry, and then my notes with water. So we'll come back to those.
All right. So you put a drop of water to come back later?
Well, in my notes, I've got water and then my notes.
Okay.
So I've added a drop of water to my 12.
All right.
So when we come back in a little bit.
Got it. I did the same thing. So we're going to the 15 though.
Yes.
All right.
Now, like I said, on the packaging, the 12 and the 18 state that it's got some sherry influence. The 15 doesn't. I didn't find it anywhere on the packaging.
Okay.
Until I nosed it. And I thought, okay, we had 2 sherry influenced here, and then just a 15 with no sherry influence.
My nose allergy is just killing me on this one. Sorry. It's unfiltered.
Yeah.
Wow. So, I mean, I've looked at my notes, but I'm definitely getting fruit, vanilla, a nice rounded, like juicy, not juicy fruit like the gum, but I'm just meaning it's like a plump fruit. On my notes, I list fruit and vanilla. Wow, it's like a it's like plump with juice and it's dripping as you bite into that.
I've got sherry on the forefront. That's the first thing that jumps up at me. Which, when I sat down with this, I thought, okay, now I've got the unsherried one. Prepare to be disappointed. And I nosed it and I thought, okay, well, nowhere does it say sherry, but that smells like sherry.
Wow.
There's almond. There's something, a lemon fruit cake in there. Again, with the maltiness and a little bit of oak. Now on the palate, sherry as well. I had to look it up. I had not looked it up online. It is sherry influenced.
It is sherry velvet.
Yes.
There is a beautiful mouth coating feel. Oily, drippy, sweet fruit. A lingering juicy flavor that I can't really even pin down. I mean, it feels like I've taken a big bite of like a plum and the juice is just running in my mouth. It sounds horrible. Man. On my old notes, I put peppery sweet on the forefront. I'm not really getting that pepper here at all. Moving to a strong fruit and then a finish of an alcohol spice.
Lemongrass again. Smooth oak, sugar. Creamy. I agree, and there's a really juicy fruit, not a juicy fruit gum, a very juicy fruit.
Yeah.
Mango, maybe.
Okay. I can see a mango or a
Papaya.
passion fruit, maybe.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Not quite the exotic fruit flavors of like an Irish that some of that comes up. I mean, it's...
The mouthfeel on this one is just phenomenal. I mean, the coating...
Caramel.
Yeah, the rounded, sweet clinginess to my entire palate is just delicious. I mean, that's the takeaway there, is that sweet fruitiness with the thick oiliness. And it just makes me want to just drink it. Just
now they do state natural color.
Right.
It's 43%. I'm assuming it's chill filtered. If it's under, I think they're saying if it's under 46% or 45.4%, somewhere in there, it has to be chill filtered. I don't know. And it doesn't say non-chill filtered anywhere on the packaging. But really, for that, still a very thick, oily mouthfeel.
Beautiful.
For being, usually your chill filtration takes some of that out.
Beautiful. Boom, we're back. And we're moving into the 18. I'm going to turn over. I saw something
Vanilla
that said
cream.
Fruity. Already on the 18?
And on the 15 still.
Okay.
It just seems a little, very similar to the 12. More aged.
Well, you
more
can tell
time.
the same family.
Yes.
Definitely the age, but that mouthfeel distinctly different. Distinctly different. You left these over at the house. I wanted to turn them into daily sippers.
Yeah.
I didn't. Mm-hmm. I left them right out here on the center island, though, and I would look at them and be like, you know what? Maybe I need to retry the 18. Maybe I didn't get good enough notes on the 18 because the 18 harkened me back many, many a time.
Mm-hmm. The 18, you can see the color difference from the other two.
That's true.
Let me find my notes on the 18.
Now, I haven't looked at my notes yet. On the nose, I get a little bit more of the woodiness. It's like I can almost pick up the tannins.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's got a floral sweetness. And for me, oddly, it's picking up more. I get more of that alcohol in the nose in this one.
Yeah. Still 43%, same as the others.
I know. It's amazing, though, how it's changed.
I've got roasted almonds.
Ooh, that's good.
Dark sherry notes.
Yes.
And lemongrass again. And this was the first one that I had.
Yeah, I get a little citrus. This is the first one of the three. Yeah, I definitely get the citrus flavor notes.
And, of course, some of the oakiness.
Curious. Fruity nose. Here I listed rich pear, backed with apple. Maybe, I say. I think I'm getting a little apple in there. Huh. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see the pear. Wow.
So I came home from Dallas with this one, popped it, sat down. After my first sip, I literally thought, this might be the best sherried scotch I've had. And I'm gathering just from what's on the package, it's kind of a double, like the Balvenie double wood, where it's been in just an oak or an ex-bourbon cask and then sometime in a sherry cask. I don't know, or if it's been exclusively... I don't feel like it's been exclusively matured in sherry casks. Just a good, I think it does say a good portion of sherry casks.
All I can say is it's exclusively good. Yeah. I can say that.
Oh, it's the result of 18 long years and a generous proportion of first fill sherry casks. And the patience we take. Nurtured and then matured for 18 years.
Strong fruit in this one. Spicy alcohol. I get a bit of an allspice, but it's so beautifully wrapped in with the sherry. A rich plum raisin. I know. I need to just take a break and focus on the forefront of the flavor. It really says hello when it comes in.
I've got a rich chocolate in there as well. Velvety, apricot, raisins, and simply delicious is one of my tasting notes.
The only thing I'm searching for now is in my notes I added at the very end of the flavor that I get like an odd wood flavor that I couldn't pin down. And I'm trying to pin it down now. I don't know if it's just the oak. It's definitely a vanilla oak. I don't get it lingering on my palate. And I get more astringency than I get from the 15.
A little bit more.
I'm going to have to add a drop of water to both. But I'm telling you, before we came into this, the 18 was my favorite. It is probably tied, and I'm going to have to see what's going to happen between the 15 and the 18. The 15-year-old mouthfeel, beautiful.
I think I would pick out the 18 blind. I think it's that 18 years is showing. And there's a lot more sherry influence on the 18 than there is both the 12 and the 15. There's some slight sherry influence. The 15, even though it wasn't on the packaging or the marketing that I saw, I could taste it right away. But this one was just blew me away. The 18.
I'm going to try this 15 again.
Chocolate, plums, sugar plums dancing in your head. Oh wait, that's a Christmas song. Or a Christmas story. The spices, the baking spices. All right, you going back to the 12? And go revisit?
I just went 15 to 18. 15, my favorite for mouthfeel. And probably edging out on being my favorite overall. Let me cleanse a little bit.
Back to the 12 from the 18, it's not disappointing. It's still delicious. You don't go, oh wow, that's subpar to the 18. Still good.
These are delicious all the way around.
'15 does have a great mouthfeel. It's very warming, very velvety, take over the mouth.
Yeah, the velvetiness of it and the lack of the astringency.
It hangs in there. It doesn't go away.
Right. I'm not anti-astringent, but this just it makes me want to just drink more. I mean, the way it coats. All right. Boy, my nose, my allergies are just going. I apologize. I'm going to flat out say this is some of the best sherried Scotch I've ever had. And I'm talking all three expressions here. Now you say there's a 21 and we've had the 25.
Right.
How much is the 21 since it's not?
Well, I don't know. And I haven't looked it up. I need
because I know
to
we
find
can't
it.
get it here.
So let's talk. We kind of went through, we've touched on each one, given some notes, some impressions. I love the 18. I will hazard a guess this is going to be a staple. Any of these would be a staple on my bar.
Oh, yeah. Delicious.
$50 for the 12.
Wow, steal.
$70 for the 15.
Okay.
And $99 or $100 for the 18.
Worth it, worth it, worth it.
Yes, absolutely.
And here's what I thought coming in. My preconceived notion was that I was going to zero in on one of these when I had them all together, which I hadn't done. I'd only taste them individually and say this or this or this or whatever shines head and shoulders above their other expressions. No. Then my second concern was how different. Because in my individual notes, they hold similarities, as you would expect, but yet they remain different. And they've managed to still do that. Kind of like my hair. Kind of like Bob Ross. These, you're right, are a staple. And I'm going to throw one other little caveat that's completely arbitrary. Their marketing of the can looks beautiful on the shelf. This metalness that's going on with these, and then the gold twinge that they have in this one is just beautiful when they stand on the shelf together. I love the way they stand. So that's completely arbitrary. I'm just saying I dug it. And they go well with my granite.
I'm going to look real quick and see if I can find a price online for the Glengoyne 21.
Okay, while you're doing that, I'm going to retry the 12 as you look.
I've wanted to find a bottle anyway, but they do say the 21-year-old is exclusively matured in sherry casks.
Well,
or somewhere I saw that. Hopefully I'm not wrong.
They've got the sherry magic down. They really, really do.
There's a few places online, $125, $130 for a 21 year.
Wow.
Put it in the cart. Put it in the cart.
That might need to be our 300. Well, do we already have a bottle picked for our 350th? We kind of do. No?
No. Okay. We're not too far off though. We're up to 330.
That's what I was thinking. Something. Well, the Black Arts was something we haven't reviewed yet.
The 5.1.
Yeah. But this would be the 21 as our 250th. Every 50th, we do a special bottling. Usually a little more expensive. We'll spend a little more time.
Well, we haven't. We talked about. We've just done it on the 100, the 200, and the 300.
Right now we're moving about possibly
maybe every 50.
I just liked it. Maybe I overstepped.
No.
Okay.
It's in the Geneva Convention.
All right. Ooh, I inhaled a little bit. Out of these three, if you held a gun to my head, anti-Geneva Convention, and made me pick one, torture, I would pick the 15 because that mouthfeel, they're all delicious and slightly unique. I am in love with the mouthfeel of the 15.
It's very good. Impressive. I just had it.
The velvetiness has captured me. I'm captured and treated well. Geneva Convention.
The 18 though, and for $99, one of the best 18-year-olds.
It is.
A very well done sherried.
How does it compare,
Scotch.
do you think, to the Tomatin 18, which is sherried? Versus.
Yeah.
That'd be a good versus. Because I don't know. Blind. Do those two blind against each other. Wow. I want to do that.
Well, we got our traveling dummy.
Yes, traveling dummy.
The traveling dummy for this week, we chose Mel Troha.
Right. Mel Troha's photos, what I call photos at the mailbox, have been impressive.
The Ripper.
Yeah, the Ripper.
Nickname.
Yeah, Mel the Ripper. That's it. That's our new nickname for Mel. Mel the Ripper. Because when he got the coin, it looked like the excitement of youth of a child that when I got the limited Boba Fett in the mail in 79 or 80, I was checking the mail every day and I finally got it. When Mel got the coin, it looked like he ripped the packaging open with his teeth. When he got the shirt,
right at the mailbox.
We
showed that one a few episodes back.
We did. And Mel's made it again.
Yeah.
He got a shirt.
He got his Love the Pete Scotch Test Dummy shirt.
Right. First of all, I'm with you, Mel, on the Pete. All right.
Our shirts are available at scotchtestdummies.com on our t-shirt webpage.
Heresy on you. But he rips it with his teeth. Look at that.
So, yeah, we'll put the picture in.
It's
Mel... Now, he on Twitter, he started a second Twitter name. He's at Basement Drammer because he's planning on starting to do his own reviews.
Oh, good, Mel.
Yes.
Do it. If you show the same enthusiasm at the mailbox as you do at the Basement Review,
Basement Drammer.
People are going to tune in.
At Basement Drammer. So we'll put that picture in. Mel, again, his excitement at the mailbox is showing.
Now, I'm guessing. I'm saying he lives in the deep southern South and he's on a plantation. I love that house in the background. Look at that. Look at that. Here's what I'm calling. He's a computer developer. Okay, I'm making this up. I don't know. And he's so successful in the developing of the computer programming that he's done, he's been able to buy an old, I don't even know where he lives. You do. You've mailed him. An old plantation-style house that has those huge columns on the front. And I'm picturing on the back kind of a wraparound porch where you could sit out and drink a whiskey and just listen to the crickets. That's what I'm
And watch the fireflies.
And watch the fireflies and
The lightning
drink
bugs.
whiskey.
And drink
the
whiskey.
lightning bugs. And just let time slip. I like to let time slip. So that's impressive. Twice. Mel the Ripper is now what he's known to me as. Mel the Ripper.
Did I ever tell you, I don't know if I told the story on a video, the training that I was at? And there's 100 students in this class, okay? And the instructor's going on. It's not whiskey industry related.
Does this anything to do with Roll Tide?
Close.
Maybe.
We weren't too far
Roll
from
Tide. Roll Tide.
But one of the instructors is going, and he says, for stress relief, I got a house that's on the river, and I got this big backyard just like you were describing.
Oh, I love the sound of it.
And at night he goes, I go out there and I'll have me a glass of whiskey and I just relax, blah, blah. And then he goes on with the class, and about 30 minutes later he's like, well, it's time for breaks. Anybody got any questions?
You raise your hand.
Yeah.
And?
You're sitting on your back deck relaxing, looking at that river. What kind of whiskey are you drinking?
Ooh, and now you've made a friend. I've been in a few trainings when they reference a Scotch, and then immediately I'm like, hello. Now, what whiskey was he enjoying?
It was a bourbon, and I don't recall. It was a decent
Blanton's.
I don't remember.
I bet you he was on a Blanton's.
I was like, yeah, that's good.
Wow. And then did he come up to you? There's nothing better than when you're in a class training deal, you ask such a good question that they seek you out. Because there's always the sycophant that's like, hello, hi, I've done X, Y, and Z.
You were talking about your shoestrings.
And what you said was just beautiful, and they're like, get out of the way. I'm finding that bourbon drinker ask the question. Where is he at? I'm coming to you, sir. I'm coming to you. And I'm like, That's what I'm talking about. Kismet.
Do you have scores for these, or do we?
I did. You know what? I had scores on the very first 12 year, and then I noticed I wasn't scoring after that, and I don't know what happened there. If I knew we were going to do them together.
Well, I had them, and I'll just tell you, I went 90 on the 12-year-old. It's a very good.
I had 89 on the 12-year-old,
and I had to fit it into my top 5 12-year-old scotches.
Yes, you did.
Right?
You did have to do that.
I'm going just a notch higher, 91 on the 15-year-old.
Calling down a 93. I loved it.
I'm going 93
I'm
on the
going
18.
91 on the 18.
So you went a little bit higher.
81, 93, 91.
Yeah.
83, 90, 83. Look at that. 89, 93, 91. Love them all. Delicious. Mouthfeel is almost unique and standalone-ish. Sorry. Allergies. Maybe it's the hair. So I love what you're saying there. I've drained mine. They're empty.
I've got one sip of each one left, and I'm going to finish with the 18-year-old.
You know what? That's good.
Here, you want my 12? You want my? Here's my 15.
Oh, you're a good man.
I'll share with you.
You're a good man, sir. Gonna give you that coin.
Oh.
All right. So let's on 3. Let's both consume this. 1, 2, 3. Cilantro. You know what I'm gonna say? Scotch it, you Scotch gods.
12-year-old cilantro.
Dummies.